everyone. This is Excel Chapter 1, Pause and Practice number 2, Movie number 2. We're beginning on step 9 on page E1-29. We have the Paradise Lakes Resort file open, and we just, last time we put in the sum function and copied it, and we started doing some formatting. So we're going to start off on step 9. We're going to change the theme. Okay, so in Excel, you go to page layout for the themes, and it works the same way that it did in Word, where themes has the 3 components: the color palette, the fonts that are used, and any special effects, and then they're broken out. But remember, on Word, they're like theme was here, and then the other 3 were over to the right. In Excel, they're all in this little theme group. Okay, so we're going to click on theme, and we're going to try and find facets. So it's going to turn the stuff to green, and it changed the overall font. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is select A4, and we want to go to the Home tab and make this Candara. So I'm going to start by typing C-A-N, and it's going to take me down there, right? So I don't have to keep scrolling. So it's Candara, and then it's 16 points, and it's going to be bold. So let's review. For A4, I made it Candara, 16-point bold. So revenue categories with the mixed spelled categories has that effect. So now let's select A5 through I10, A5 through I10, right? A5 through I10. We're going to make the font size for that 12. Okay. So then let's select A4, and we want to take this format and paint it across the headings. So just like Word, I'm sitting on what I want to grab the format from. I'm going to single click on the format painter. It works the same as Word. Single click allows you to apply it once. Double click allows you to keep in that paint mode and paint it multiple places. So single click has my running ants. I have my paintbrush attached. So now I want to select B4 through I4, so Monday through total, okay? And then my paintbrush goes away because I had only single clicked. Okay, notice Wednesday's not showing up, Thursday's a bit crowded, so we can fix that later. All right, so now we want to start working with the numbers, right? It's difficult to read numbers when they go into the thousands without that comma, so it's always a good idea. And one of the things about numbers is you just want to be consistent in your number formatting. So we're going to select B5 through I9, so this stuff in the middle, right? And the formatting for numbers is found in this number group. So I want to just talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. So this is called the accounting number format. It would have a $sign at a fixed location at the left of the cell, a comma, and 2 decimal places. The comma would have the same format minus the $sign. So it would have the comma and two decimal places. There's also something called currency. If I go here to this down arrow, pick currency, it is this. If you look at accounting and currency here, they look the same. The difference is that the currency, the $sign floats next to the number instead of being in a fixed location like accounting, and the minuses are, the negative numbers are handled differently by default. So we're going to do a comma style here, and it's going to put commas in 2 decimal places, and you know, there aren't any cents to this, you know, less than $1. So I really don't need to see 0.00, 0.00, 0.00, right? So I'm going to use these little buttons to either decrease or increase. In this case, it's going to decrease, so I'm going to click, click. So every time I clicked, it removed one of the decimal places. So I did it twice, so I got rid of the cents. So now we're going to select B10 through I10, that total, and we're going to do accounting. So I'm just going to click on the dollar sign. It's going to do, don't worry about the railroad tracks, the pound signs. It's because the number doesn't fit anymore, but it will fit after we take away the dollars, the decimals, right? So let's do decrease, decrease. And so now they're all lined up. They have commas where needed, and then the total has the dollar sign, which is usually common. Usually the top row and the totals have the dollar sign. You don't need to see it in every cell because the implication that it's everything between it is of the same format. Okay, so let's select B4 through I4. B4 through I4. And then in the alignment group, we're going to right align it. So we want the days of the week to be on top of the numbers, and numbers are right aligned by default, and so they're kind of more over the numbers. Not all labels are going to be there. That's okay. Let's select A10 and make that bold. Okay, I'm going to do a quick save. It's getting there. We still have some work to go, but it's getting there. The next thing I'm going to do is add some borders, because if we see these cell borders, but if we would preview it, that is not shown. That grid is only when we're working in there. So if we actually want this to have borders separating it, one of the ways to do that is to add borders. So we're going to select A4 through I10. And then we're going to find the border button. So that's in the font group again. Going to click the down arrow, and we want to pick the one that says all borders, right? So now if I print preview it, like, it looks better, right? We still can't see everything, but it's getting there. I'm going to do a save. So that border works very similar to when we were working with tables in Word, okay? The next thing we're going to do is select A10 through I10, A10 through I10, because look at what happened. When we did that, we removed the double line at the bottom. You know what, let me undo that and just show you. See how this, remember we put this as a total style? Well, the total style has a single line above it and a double line at the bottom, and that's used in accounting to represent the end of the set of numbers, the end of the exhibit, if you will, and that's gone now. So we want to add that back. So we're going to select that, and instead of picking something from the pre-printed, we're going to go down to more borders. And I want to pick the double line from the style, and I want to apply it at the bottom of the range of cells that I've selected. So it will put that double border at the bottom now. So if I click on that, and one of the things about Excel is you don't see it until you click off of it. So it's not green, but it's a double line. So that represents in accounting lingo that that's the end of it. Okay. All right, so we're going to select A2 through I2, A2 through I2. We're going to go back up to the borders, more borders, and this time, do you see this? It's a gray, and that's telling you that, and I'm going to get out and show you. So this has a border and these cells do not. So when I select this and I go into the all borders, Excel's like, I don't know what to put. Do I put the one that has the line? Do I put the one that doesn't have the line? Well, what it does is it puts this kind of gray shading, and that tells you that there's currently a mixed format in that location in the selected cells. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that to remove it. Put the solid and remove it. Okay, so we double click, we put it on and we removed it, right? Because we want no border on the bottom, because we're going to change it up a little bit. So we want to pick the color, and we want it to be a dark green accent to 25%, darker 25%. So this one, And then we're going to select the thick solid line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one right here in the second column. So we've selected the color, we've selected the line, now I need to apply it. And I'm going to apply it on the bottom. And then OK. So once again, can't really see it till we click off, and there you go. Now we have it all the way across that range. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to end the movie. We'll pick up on the next movie in pause and practice 3. All right, thank you.